want to first say to Jack, I believe that the reason that I did not gain a fourth term was that I had not gotten the Eagle Award. I also want to say to you, as I do wherever I go, particularly in New York City, and there's always some embarrassment thinking on the part of people that maybe I'm upset that I didn't win re-election for a fourth term, and I always say to people, to those of you who supported me, I say thank you. To those of you who did not and liberated me, I say thank you. The truth of the matter is I've never been happier. I have a whole new career. I'm proud of the 25 years of public service that I gave. It takes a lot out of you. I believe that public service is the noblest of professions if it's done honestly and if it's done well, and I think I did both, and I will always recall it with pride. But I'm one of those who always looks to the future, and I'm now in my third career. I will not give you the inventory of the things I do. We don't have enough time. Now
about the quote discrimination that's occurring down in the produce market outside of the Korean.
Oh yes, yeah. In Brooklyn, there are actually two Korean greengrocers, vegetable and fruit stores, that are subject to a boycott by black militants led by Sonny Carson, who is an extortionist, a thug, and who believes, along with his adherents, that no one may open a business in a black community or live in a black community from his point of view other than another black. That's an outrageous, racist position to take. And he's quite open about it. He said he's anti-white. He said it publicly. You may have seen it on television. And there was, a number of months ago, a dispute between a black woman and a Korean grocer, where the woman said that she was assaulted by the Koreans, and the Korean said she didn't pay her bill, and they had an altercation. That's in the criminal courts, but that's not the basis, the true basis of this picketing, because this picketing has occurred throughout the city and other places. There are militants in black and white communities who simply don't believe in the American way of life. The Korean community is one of the most successful immigrant groups. Why? Everybody works. That whole family works in that store 24 hours a day. I mean, they're wonderful immigrants. And what I have said was that if I were the mayor, I'd go right down to that store, I'd cross that picket line, and I would buy enough produce every week for Gracie Mansion to fill the refrigerator and encourage other people to do the same at that particular store. I have said, what would people think if a black entrepreneur opened a store in a white community and a similar situation arose exactly the same way, and a white woman were to say that she had been insulted, etc., and then whites were to stand in front of this black entrepreneur's store and to urge a boycott, everybody in America would be denouncing it as racist. Every minister, priest, rabbi, the head of the NAACP, the head of the American Jewish Congress, everybody. They'd all be down at City Hall yelling and screaming at the mayor, why aren't you doing something to help this black entrepreneur? Why aren't they doing the same for this Korean entrepreneur? He's a New Yorker. Why am I getting so upset? But I feel this very strong. I'll tell you how it occurred. It's amazing. I was coming from a hotel going up to Harlem in my car, and as we're riding up, there's a commissioner sitting to my left, and he's talking to me, and suddenly I realize I don't know what he's saying, and I don't care what he's saying, which is not like me. And I realize that I'm unable to get whatever thoughts I have out coherently. And I know I'm having a stroke. So I tap the detective who's sitting in front of me on the shoulder, and I say to him, Eddie Martinez, a wonderful man, I'm having a stroke. Get me to the hospital. Take me to Lenox. Lenox was at 78th, we were at 74th. And then I realized that the press always wants to know, what did he say before he died? So, knowing that they're going to wonder whether or not I had confidence in the municipal hospital system, I said, and if you can't get me to Lenox, take me to Bellevue. So, I get to the hospital. Now, I'm in the hospital for 4 days. The Cardinal, John Cardinal O'Connor, who's a very good friend and a man I really have great affection and admiration for. He came to see me for just a few minutes as I'm in the IC ward, and he said, listen, Ed, I'm only going to stay here a few moments, because I know that you need to sleep. But I'm here to tell you that you're in my prayers, and if you would like, very seriously, I will pray for you in Hebrew. I said to him, Your Eminence, I've taken care of the Hebrew. Would you try a little Latin? 4 days later, I walked out of the hospital without any diminution in faculties, no paralysis. I believe in the power of prayer. And a lot of people prayed for me, and I was very grateful. The doctor said, go back to the mansion and take a week off. I said I would do it as though I'd never taken a week off before, as mayor. I go back, it's hot August, and I'm sitting on the porch on a Sunday afternoon, and the police officer at the gate calls in on the phone and he says, Mayor, a car just drove up, and there are 4 nuns in the car. What should I do? From there, I'm coming down. And I go to the gate. In the car, 4 nuns. One of them is Mother Teresa. I say, Mother, what are you doing here? She says, Ed, I knew you were ill. You were in my prayers, and I came to see how you are. I said, Mother, your prayers worked. You're here. Stay a while with me. And she comes out of the car, and I take her by the hand, and we skip up the path, and I take her onto the porch. 3 nuns following us. We sit down, hot August Sunday. The chef comes out. I had a chef then. The chef comes out, pours wonderfully cool lemonade, and he has a plate of chocolate chip cookies that he's just baked. I drink. I see that Mother and the nuns don't drink lemonade. I say, Mother, why don't you drink the lemonade? It's cool, it's refreshing, it's delicious, it's so hot. She said, Ed, you know my order. We work primarily in India. And in India, for a family to provide us with lemonade and cookies or the equivalent would cost that family a week's wages. And so we never eat in the homes of the powerful and the rich and the mighty. And when we go into the homes of the poor and the humble, and we say, no thank you, they're not insulted because they know we eat nowhere. Rather sweet. So I say, but Mother, these chocolate chip cookies are the best cookies ever baked. She says, wrap them up! Thank you, and good night.